Ysidro Holmes. I use he, him pronouns, and I am a student at the University of Arizona studying early childhood education. And I'm an advocate for young children as well as teachers. I have 10 years in the field being a teacher, and now I am interested in policy work in early childhood education. I live in Phoenix, Arizona, originally from Tucson, Arizona, but I now reside in Phoenix. I have some experience in family-owned preschools, some corporate preschools, as well as an amazing play-based preschool called Second Street Children's School in Tucson, Arizona. Well, I go to the University of Arizona and I am studying early childhood education. And through the pandemic, doing this degree, it has been very different. At the beginning of my schooling, I was able to find a groove. I was able to figure out how to get to the library and do my work there. Actually, before that, I should say that my program is online. And so I had to do my classes through the computer screen. So I had to figure out how to make relationships with other educators through Zoom and things like that. So figuring out that I need to go to a library to kind of go through my schoolwork and that process, that's kind of how I found my groove in going to school. And then when the pandemic hit, it was everything closed down, right? So I had to figure out how to do my work being at home, which was a very big challenge for me. So that's just, it was tough in that way. I am also a First Things First scholarship recipient, and for my scholarship, one of my obligations is to volunteer at a site as well. And so that has been tricky as well. Trying to find a site to volunteer, to do my internship, that has been such a hurdle to try to get my last year going here at the U of A. I was able to overcome those challenges by having a support group. And when I was feeling like I can't do this work today, or it's just really hard for me to focus here at home, I just had to figure out how to make my space a place to do work. So I maybe made a little desk in a certain area of the house that had a lot of sunlight. I had to figure out if the mornings worked better for me to work, or in the evenings it was best. So just trying to make those little adjustments and just trial and error. And then I also had a support system. So I'd call up my friends who are either students as well, or they have already graduated. Calling up friends, calling up family, and even colleagues. Early childhood education is imperative. It's everything, and we need to get those little brains going right away, because they just make so many more neural connections at that age. And it's so important for us to invest in early ed. Just imagine all of the things that we can understand about children and have those neural connections at that moment, and how that's going to set them up to be successful human beings in our world. I'm actually really proud of the fact that I'm from Tucson. I moved out here to Phoenix in hopes of getting into policy work in early childhood education, and I landed a sweet internship with First Things First and their policy team. So I'm very excited to learn about that kind of work, and just see if that's what I want to do. Having an internship, that's what it's all about, right? Is seeing that work in real time, and seeing if you'd like to do that for your profession. And so I'm really excited that I'm interning there, and hopefully I gain some experience and um, and land a job after I graduate. So find your groove and find your people. Figure out what works for you. It's not going to be the same for everybody. And if you work really well overnights, find one night to do your work and get it done. And if you're struggling with that, call up your friends, your family, and reach out to people like us, to your support team within the ECE community. When you look at all of the classes that you need to take and all of that, that can feel overwhelming. So really just chunk it into pieces, and don't don't take too much that you can't do it. Know your limits. Know, if family is very important to you, know that maybe maybe go part-time rather than full-time. Those kinds of little tweaks, and you're going to learn along the way too. If you want to start out full-time in school, see how it goes, and you're really rocking it, keep doing that. Keep the momentum that you have. I would say check in with your early childhood folks and see if they're connected first. So if you're a teacher working in the field, ask around at your center to see if anybody's doing that kind of work. And I think it's really, it makes it enjoyable to do it with somebody that you know and you care about, for you all to do this important work. So I would say like relationship based for sure. And then I would say if you don't have anybody in your center that's doing that kind of work, check in with your school and check in with organizations like Arizona AEYC, um, organizations like ASCA. So just reach out to folks and see what they're doing. Most of the time, they're looking for um, people to tell their stories, just like I am doing here. So and little things like this, telling your story, that's a really big piece in policy work and advocacy. We're all going through this together. We might have other things happening in our lives that are not going to align, of course, but we're all in one class together, and we can help each other out in that way. If you're teaching right now, I am sending so much strength to you, because I know that this work is really hard at this time. So keep doing the good work. And our parents are thankful. The economy is thankful. And a lot of these children are looking up to you. So just um, keep pushing forward, and you got this.